It's more confusing than Inception, harder than an erection. It's cooler than Andre 3000. Oh, let's get ready for Sweet Connection.
Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. I'm your host, Kat.
Do you want to do that again?
I'm not doing it again. My host is Jason Lewis, and although I've probably cut it from the show, I tried to do the intro and Jason made a laughing noise, and then I started laughing. But I carried on like the professional I am. Anyway, Jason, how you doing?
So has just cracked open his fifth beer of the evening.
So, how you been?
All right, yeah.
So, it's been a while since we've done a show back in the studio, isn't it?
Well, technically...
Have you missed it?
No.
No? Fair enough.
I've missed you.
Well, we haven't missed you either, Jason, so it's fine.
Well, the listeners have. The downloads have gone down. There's only one reason.
Well, yes, because we haven't put out a show in a month. So that's the reason it's gone down.
We're back, baby! What do you reckon? Series 4? I reckon this is like the fourth time we've had a big break.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
No, Series 4.
Series 4.
Is that when TV shows start to get worse or better? Because most good TV shows end after 2 series.
Normally it's a fucking amazing first series, shit second series, and third series is the ending because the second series was so bad, but the third series is quite good.
Yeah.
So we've made it to the 4th series.
Okay.
Name a program that's had at least 4 seasons that's still good. The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's not good anymore.
Yeah, but they had more than 4 good series.
True.
They had about 17 good series.
Well, let's go to
and they're still not bad now, let's be honest.
What about the British stuff?
Most British stuff ends after 2 seasons.
Yeah,
like The Office,
Gavin and Stacey.
Fleabag.
Fleabag?
Have you not heard of Fleabag? Fleabag is fucking amazing.
Shitty BBC one, wasn't it?
Fleabag is amazing.
Is it?
Watch it. It's genuinely amazing.
Should we start up a TV club?
No,
a bit like film club.
Definitely not. Let's definitely not do that. Anyway, how have you been the past few weeks?
You never do anything that I want to do.
Yeah, because this is my fucking show. Anyway, what have you been up to the past few weeks of lockdown? But hopefully we're getting out of lockdown because we're being vaccinated. I mean, not me and you, but people are being vaccinated in this country. Not to brag or anything, but our country's actually vaccinating people.
The Wickers! Although our vaccines have got a high chance of blood clots.
No, I know that you know that's bollocks. And I know that you know that will annoy me by you saying that. So I'm seeing right through you.
We know each other too well. What have I been doing? I've done up my garden.
Did you? Yeah?
Yeah, I've returfed, restoned and all my garden stuff, which is quite funny because my neighbours to the left and neighbours to the right, their gardens are fucking atrocious. And our one was when we moved in. So now we've got a beautiful garden. But we're a rose between 2 thorns because the other 2 are a piece of shit.
And I hope that they're both listening to this podcast. And they clock who the co-host is. Are they nice people, or have you even met them? Because I don't really think nowadays people really meet their neighbours.
One neighbour's back door was opposite our back door, so when he goes out for a cigarette and I'm doing the washing up, or I go out the back door, he's always there.
Right.
Always there.
So is it like a small fence in between? Is it like a high fence?
It's like probably up to chest. Up to chest. I think,
okay. Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah.
But what you get with these old style houses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Fun.
Okay, well that's great.
What have you been doing?
Well, that's good. Well, obviously, the main topic is that me and Laura are selling this house, and we've got the best estate agent in our town, who was sadly unavailable, so we got you instead to help us sell our house.
Yes.
So it's been a very
Pleased so far with the service.
So far we've only had 2 viewings, but hopefully
it's been less than a week.
It's been over a week.
Is it?
Yeah, because it was last Friday. Went on. Today's Sunday.
It's not even been 7 working days.
Yeah, fine. Anyway.
Plus, I'm doing you mates rate fee.
Yeah, well, fucking hell, you get fucking mates rate surface, don't you?
I got your house on the market within hours.
That is true.
I worked late and busted a gut to get yours on.
That is
for peanuts.
I'm literally paying you in peanuts.
I don't even get paid to do this shit show. I have to work hard to get my money.
That's good. But it's been a very exciting time for us all. We've been having meetings with mortgage advisors, and we've gone to view some houses. We found a house that we like.
It's gonna the next studio is going to be incredible, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, hopefully the house that we like doesn't sell before we sell this house to then buy that house. But yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the next studio is going to be fucking quality.
Mm. Yeah.
And also, actually, we could do a show in the garden of the house that we like, because it's got a barbecue and a built-in pizza oven in the garden, so we can have pizzas.
Cooking with Sweet Connection.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we can rate different pizzas
that we cook.
That we cook.
Here's a challenge. I cook a pizza for you, and you cook a pizza for me.
Right.
Or we cook... Oh, here we go. We cook 2 pizzas each. So, a really bad one with, like, anchovies and shit.
Yes.
And then a really nice one, like a cheesy pepperoni pizza. And then we quiz each other. And every question you get right, you have a slice of a nice pizza. Every question you get wrong, you have a slice of a bad pizza. And it's going to be questions. So, like, your questions will be questions about you,
about me, and your answer, and vice versa. So it's like a personal quiz.
Personality quiz.
Yeah, and that carries on until one of us dies from eating too many anchovies or mushrooms or fucking red ghost peppers or whatever we're going to put on that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Right, we'll do that.
But yeah, no, it's been good though. It's weird having people come round and like sort of view our house. It isn't bad. It's a very strange thing because it's weirdly formal but also informal at the same time.
What I quite like from my point of view is, I mean, I've been coming around to this house weekly for the last. Well, I say weekly, frequently for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You lived here 5 years?
6 years, yeah.
6 years. And it's quite interesting now flipping it and actually being the person that's selling
the house.
Because obviously I've known this house inside out. And then when you're coming to selling it, you've got to think of it of a different aspect.
Yeah.
And
think more objective.
And all that sort of stuff. Like, never really took into account, how modern your bathroom was, to be honest, and all that sort of stuff. Or the fact you've lived here for 6 years, I just realised you've got a sea view.
Yeah, very true. Well, I mean, barely a sea view.
Distant sea view.
We've got
overlooking over the top of some caravans, but it's a sea view.
We've got about 3 inches of sea view from our second bedroom. So
well,
if you
can
the best
3 inches Laura's ever looked at. Yeah,
he's back. You can't do that over Zoom, can you?
I'm out of it.
That's good. That's fun. But obviously, since the last time I saw you, lots of weird stuff has happened. Weird stuff tends to happen to me. In
some crazy situations
in my life. So I'd just like to run through a couple of things that maybe you might find interesting. Last month it was Laura's birthday.
I didn't get her a card.
It's fine. She'd expect to get a card.
I said happy birthday on Facebook.
Did you?
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
That doesn't quite mean the same as physically buying a card.
Do you think?
But it's better than nothing.
Right, okay, go back to that then.
Fucking hell, go on then.
Because
I've not even started my story yet.
Because I think birthday cards are pointless.
Obsolete.
I think they're shit. And if anyone buys me a Christmas card, a birthday card, I don't keep them, I bin them.
Yeah,
so
as does everyone else.
I think a birthday shout out on Facebook is more meaningful. Like, for example, like your aunties and uncles who you don't really see anymore.
Yeah.
I'll post on their wall and that's good enough.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. I mean, yeah, for like distant family members, yeah. Maybe for close friends.
Maybe for my mum.
It's worth doing the personal touch.
Oh, fucking
of getting a physical card.
Probably a fucking real.
He says, even though I've never gotten you, or in fact any of my friends, a paper card for their birthday.
Well, it's my birthday on the 5th of April.
Is it? Well, fortunately no one cares, so that's fine. But anyway, back to my story. He's back! You live by the sword, you die by the sword, Jason. Yeah, anyway.
Go fuck yourself.
Sweet connection telling you to go and fuck yourself.
I can't believe that the most common recipient of the Go Fuck Yourself award is not like the genuine people who do bad stuff in the world. It's me.
Yeah, well, we need to get guests on the show.
The closest person to you. Anyway, back to what I was saying about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, your story. So it was Laura's birthday last month.
Laura's birthday last month.
It was her 15th birthday.
Yeah, correct. And you know, she gets loads of cards from her family and friends, blah blah blah. And we put them all on them. I mean, I sometimes forget to buy her a birthday card. That's how little I care about this thing. Although I bought her a good birthday card this time.
Yeah.
I bought one of those personalised ones off like funkypigeon.com. Yeah, because you can personalise the card, and I found a card that would apply very well to Laura. I thought it was great, and I thought that I would then customise that card with things personal to her, and then I misspelt something.
You misspelt her name, didn't you?
No, but we'll get to...
You put someone else's name. Happy birthday, Sharon.
Yeah. So she had lots of cards on the fireplace, blah, blah, blah. And she would normally leave them up for about a week. And I think leaving cards up for about a week is fine. Any longer than a week, I think that's enough. I think that you milked it, personally. Yeah. I went to bin all the cards that were on the fireplace. And also I noticed that on the side there was like a piece of rubbish, like an envelope. Put the cards together, grab the envelope, put it in the bin, no problem. I didn't think about it for another few days. Bearing in mind, it was at this point that the bins should have gone, before Laura very innocently said, Ben, have you seen all the money that I got in my birthday cards? Because I left it in a used envelope from one of the birthday cards. And I was just like, poker face. No, honey, I haven't quite seen that. Possibly you mislaid it. Maybe you should go check for that. And then,
maybe in the bin.
Yeah, and then I continued the charade for about 2 days, and then I had to come clean to Laura. I was like, "Honey, I think I'm not certain, but if you put the money in a used card envelope,
oh no,
that may have been what I collected all the cards for." And threw in the bin.
Oh,
now,
no. How much money was there?
Well, she said it was £90.
Right.
This was at the time, this was about 4 weeks ago, when this part of the country was covered in snow.
Okay.
Right? Like, it was snowed, you know, we had a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Right? Therefore, our bins were not being collected. So by the time that I had realised this, it had been about 2.5, 3 weeks. Now, normally the bins would have been collected by that point because they are collected every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, actually, I wonder if they're still in the recycling bin. So I got the recycling bin, I wheeled it around to the back garden, and I thought I'll just tip it all out.
Oh, no.
And bearing in mind, because this would have just happened after the bins were last emptied, it was an entire 3 weeks worth of recycle. Bear in mind, think how many beer cans I drink, Jason, alright? It was 3 weeks worth of my beer cans and pizza boxes and whatever. And I just tipped the whole thing, and I was sorting through it for half an hour. Obviously, everything's all damp and slightly gross and has that horrible beer smell. I came across an envelope, and I was like, oh, I fucking hope. And it had the money in it. Now, which is good. However, before that point, Laura was quite cross with me, and she was insistent, and I completely agree, that if we don't find the money, that I've got to, like, pay her £90.
Double it. I made you double it if it was me. If
fine.
I was your sweet honey.
I mean, why double it? I mean, that doesn't make sense neither here nor there.
Compensation.
But then when I looked into the envelope, I could only find £70. And then I said to Laura, I was just like, look, I think there's only £70 in here. Are you sure it was £70? And then she was like, oh, no, wait. No, yeah. It was £70. And I was like, so really, it had been more profitable for you financially for me to have not gone diving through 3 weeks of bid. Because then I'd have transferred you £90 and you'd have been £20 better off. So I managed to... But the other story is that I sifted through the shit and I came up smelling of roses. Slightly damp roses. Anyway, what other stuff as weird has happened to me? There was a weird kid that was staring over our fence. Did you hear that story? I was in the garden, I was cutting the grass, and I think that the dog Bobby, like, he saw something, or he thought he saw something in the garden, and he gets, like, fairly defensive about his garden because he's a dog, even though he's a small dog. And so we, like, let him out, and he went out, and he started barking at the back fence, couldn't see anything, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, 5-10 minutes later, I was just, like, sitting in the lounge, and I looked, and I saw, like, a face, like, resting on the top of my back fence. Bear in mind, my back fence
at the bottom of the garden.
Yeah. You know, like, it is a height, you know, it's probably about a 6 foot, 7 foot fence. So I was like, what the fuck? And apparently it was just, like, that neighbour's kid who was just, and he was there, I shooting at half an hour. Because, so we would keep, because I'd want to check he was there without him knowing that I'm checking that he's there. So I'd be sort of sitting in the lounge, reading, my phone or whatever, and then just turn quickly, see he's there. And then I'd go upstairs to get an aerial view from a different angle. It was
such a pedo.
Check, he's still there.
You went to the roof of your archery set, didn't you?
Fucking hell. I mean, I could have definitely hit him in the face. Tell you what, with my archery skills, they're getting pretty good now. So I could have definitely got a fucking headshot if I wanted to. That's fucking weird. What kid stares over neighbours' fences?
That is weird. Although I remember when I was a kid, I love this story. We had a picket fence at the bottom of our garden, so it's like a fence with big holes in.
I know what a picket. I think even our listeners know what a picket fence is.
Well, I'm surprised you do. And I was in my bedroom window, and the neighbour at the bottom of the garden's back door was opposite the picket fence, so he could see into our garden, he could see into me. And I must have only been 5 or 6, because it was in my old house. And he was having a cigarette one evening, and I was in my bedroom window, and he waved at me. Bear in mind, I'm 5 or 6. I stuck my middle finger up at him.
What did he do?
Told my mum.
What did she do?
Told me off. Made me apologise.
In person?
Yeah.
Oh, they're the worst apologies.
Through the fences. I'm sorry I swore at you.
It's pretty funny, though.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. What a badass I was. Neighbours are weird, though, aren't they? And what I find weirder is when you hear how people were friends with their neighbours back in the day. You share everything with your neighbour, like your wife, a cup of sugar, some milk.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy if they're nice neighbours, but it seems to work both ways.
I wouldn't invite them around for dinner.
So, if they make an interest to come say hello to me, then I'll have a chat with them. But if they don't, I'm pretty happy just to nod and then just walk back in my house and get on with my fucking life. I've got enough friends, really.
Wow.
But, just thinking what else
Me.
is... Yeah. Just thinking else what's going on. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you'll like this story. This was last week, literally.
Oh.
Because I was watching the rugby on television, because it's the Six Nations on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Rugby.
6 nations.
Hand egg.
Yeah.
15 large men throwing round an egg. Anyway. And I was watching that, and Laura was at work. And I watched the first half because it was England playing. I don't know they're playing.
Azerbaijan.
The Six Nations is like England, Wales, Ireland, France. It's not like Azerbaijan and Iraq.
You already said 4.
There's more than that. Italy. All right, fine. England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, France, Italy. 6. Fuck off. Anyway, carrying on with the story.
When, is there qualifying to get to those 6?
No, it's those 6 are permanently.
What if, say...
One team are really bad, like Italy, who have not won a game in 5 years? They're still there.
No, but what if, say, I don't know, Uzbekistan really wanted to get their rugby team in that tournament?
They can't.
Why not?
Because
imagine doing the World Cup in football every year with the same 6 countries.
It's not the world. I mean, frankly, if you had the 6 best countries
but
playing the World Cup,
like they're the 6 best countries. If Italy haven't won a game in 5 years, kick them out. Replace them with someone else.
I agree. Italy literally have not won a game in the Six Nations since 2015.
Well, what's the point of them being there?
They've been part of that for 20 years, so they're part of the. Although they are talking about getting a different team in.
But who's in charge?
I don't know. You're derailing this very interesting story here. Okay. All right, I'm watching the Six Nations
to get Nambia in the Six Nations rugby. I'm going to become the Nambia rugby manager.
I'm not sure Nambia have got 15 people in the country to actually play to get a squad of rugby.
Leave the offensive jokes to me.
Oh, okay.
And leave my boys alone. Hashtag Nambia for Six Nations.
Anyway, I was watching the Six Nations. I was watching England. I was watching it on live TV, and
check you out.
And our satellite TV signal was playing up, right?
Oh god!
So I was like, "Oh fucking no!"
You tried to shoot your dish with your archery set, didn't you?
No. But because we've got Now TV, which is like a sort of digital TV package,
you're really flashing the cash now, aren't you? Live TV, Now TV.
I mean, both Live TV and Now TV are free, so I'm not exactly flashing the cash. Anyway, so I thought that I'd turn it on to the Now TV and go onto the Live TV channel and watch it digitally.
Via the internet.
Via the internet, yeah. So it's not affected by the sync, right?
Right.
But I couldn't find the Now TV controller. Now, that controller basically lives on our coffee table along with our Sky remote and our TV remote, right?
And your dildo.
And my dildo. And I was trying to find that for half an hour. I was tearing up the sofa, looking behind stuff, looking through drawers, and seeing as Laura was at work, I was thinking, she's moved this. She's hidden this somewhere. And I was getting more and more irritated.
At Laura,
even though she wasn't there, right? And then she came back, right? And she came in, hi Ben, how was your day? And obviously
fuck you.
I'm just seething. And I was thinking, oh, hi honey. I think you might have accidentally lost the Now TV controller in a very condescending way. And then we had the usual argument about, oh, it isn't me. But I was like, well, you're saying it's not you, but I know for a fact it's not me. So seeing as it's just me and you in this house, historically speaking, it tends to be you. Very condescending like, because I'm a great husband.
You sound like a right arsehole.
And it was half joking, it was half serious.
Whilst you chuck out her money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you put it in a bin.
Well, I put her money for a shredder. And this went back and forward for, 10, 15 minutes saying, well, it wasn't me. Well, it wasn't me who lost the controller. Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't...
After your wife's come home after a long, hard day...
working in a hospital,
working for the NHS in a overfilled hospital,
and I'd been sat at home drinking beer,
tossing yourself off to 15 naked men,
and watching one half of rugby. I think I've got a pretty fair.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
To at least criticise her.
Yeah.
So anyway, and this went back and forth for a while, and then she said, "I haven't seen that controller since you changed the batteries." And then, immediately, my face was complete poker face.
Again.
And I was just like, I think I know where the controller is. It was where I left it when I changed the batteries. And then I calmly got up from the sofa, walked over to where it was, which was only 5 feet away, and... I'd
love to be a fly on the wall.
And got the controller, and I was like, honey... I'm incredibly sorry. Now, fortunately, Laura saw the funny side of this, but I think that was a fair comeuppance. I was a little bit condescending towards her, because normally when things get lost, it is her. That's just a fact.
From the stories I've heard.
From who?
You. Your own stories.
Whatever.
And my sauce at the bottom of the garden.
You're the one paying him just to sit on the fence.
I keep saying I always wanted a sitcom based around you. He's actually the camera.
Got a camera in his eye, he's looking at me. But so I was like, I think it's always good to get a little bit of humility.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I'll take it on the chin. I was wrong in that 1 out of 20 instances. I was in the wrong there. But most of the time, it was Laura's mistake.
All the time, it sounds like. Most of the time, but the 2 stories you told me today were you blamed Laura for you losing the remote and you threw away Laura's hard-earned birthday money. She earned that by having a birthday, and you put it in the bin and then poured.
Although I did actually miss out the point where I think I may have blamed her for losing her own birthday money.
Even though you...
Before I realised it was me who said it out.
I can't wait to sell your next house because she's left you.
I'm a bad husband, no.
You are.
No, that's fine. Actually, speaking of Laura, again, this is not my fault.
Speaking of bad husbands, how's your...
No, speaking of Laura, and this is bad, but this isn't my fault. Laura has just finished her 2-year nursing course, which is good. So
what have you done in the last 2 years?
Very good point.
You don't do any more powerlifting competitions?
I still train.
For what? Laura's done 2 years of training to become
just
a
in case I've got to
nurse.
lift.
You've trained to fucking lift the shopping out of the car.
Yeah, and I'm very good at it.
You've been sacked from a job.
I mean, I don't even do the shopping. Laura does the shopping. I don't actually have to lift stuff from the car. Thank you very much.
You're a piece of shit.
Yep. and that could be the name of this podcast. You're a piece of shit, Ben. Yep, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, Laura just finished doing this 2-year course, right?
Right, yeah.
And basically, at the end of this 2-year course, she gets, it's called a nursing pin. So she gets a little, sort of number reference.
Is that what you're wearing now?
It's not a physical pin. It's more. What do you mean? Oh, you just being a dickhead, aren't you?
Steal stuff from her.
Yeah, I just steal stuff from her. And she gets the pin, and then she becomes like a proper nurse, and she gets a pay rise, and she wears a uniform, and blah blah blah. And but unfortunately, because the university that she's doing it through are grossly incompetent, after the 2 years of studying really hard, and it isn't just studying; she's working as well, working and studying for 2 years,
and putting up with you,
and putting up with me, which is a full-time job in itself. The university misspelt her name. They added an extra E in the surname, so it was Catamol.
I thought it was going to be at the end.
And so, and so couldn't get her pay rise for that week. So again, so this is like a week hence, and so she had to go to her ward sister at the hospital and be like, "Look, can you just prove that my name has one less E?" Which she then had to go through this whole rigmarole of paperwork, and it's only just now that she's doing the shift and getting paid for her new role, opposed to a week and a half ago, because a university that has been doing her course for 2 years misspelt her name on a very important fucking document, and I was like, well,
at least they know it is Catamol and not her maiden name. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe you should be called Catamol.
Anyway, shall we finish the show by doing a game? We haven't done a game in a while,
I'd love to do a game. Hide and seek?
No. We can do...
Hide the sausage?
No.
Hide the penis?
Yes. Okay, so we can do verses, Jason.
Fight!
Okay. So...
My penis versus your penis. My penis will win.
Yeah, let's not go into that. So the first verses is this had a bit of a royal theme, because in the past few weeks and months we've had lots of royal news. Obviously, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle interview, Piers Morgan, blah blah. So the first verses, who are in a fight? Meghan Markle versus Piers Morgan.
Meghan Markle.
Now, why do you think that's the case?
Because Piers Morgan
is a piece of shit,
fat slug.
Very true. Piers Morgan, most famously known for hacking a dead child's phone.
Yeah. Spreading lies.
Allegedly, or will get sued. He is very good at giving it. Not very good at taking it. Because, again...
You know a lot about that, wouldn't you?
Fuck off. Because, again, in the past week, he quit his British TV morning breakfast show because he was talking about Meghan Markle and basically slagging her off, and then one of the weathermen,
yeah, that's it. It's just a weatherman,
just came out of nowhere and started firing back at him.
Oh, and the main reason why Piers Morgan doesn't like Meghan Markle is because they were friends, and then Meghan Markle cut him out. Did you hear about all that?
Mm.
And then he said that's the reason why he's got a problem with her, and then he stormed off.
Yeah,
saying he was personally attacked.
It doesn't. Oh yes, all the personal attacks he hasn't done on everyone who's ever lived for the past 5 years.
The only good thing Piers Morgan's done is go up against that cunt from the government. What's his face? The slimy.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that, Jason. Michael Gove,
the Health Secretary,
Matt Hancock.
Yeah, that cunt.
Yeah, but. It does irritate me when I find myself agreeing occasionally with Piers Morgan. He's a bellend. He's a tool.
He's he's a definite kind of person where he thinks the louder you talk, the more correct you are.
Yes, and especially if your guest can't get a word in and you just keep talking over them, then you win.
Then you're winning. Yeah.
So
Trump, funny enough.
Yeah. So I think Piers Morgan would lose that, because I think Piers Morgan. He can't take criticism from a fucking weatherman. How can he take a punch in the face? So Piers Morgan's going down, let's be honest. Yeah. So Meghan Markle wins that.
Unless, because he's so weird and his skin is weird and he's chubs. Unless, when a punch lands on him, he turns like quicksand and it's hard to get her hand out again.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just eats her.
Okay. Well, I think I'll give that to Meghan Markle. And speaking of Meghan Markle... Who's going to win the fight? Prince Harry versus Harry Potter. Now, you have to think that Prince Harry looks a lot like Ron Weasley. So is it possible that Harry Potter would go to cast a spell on him, but then possibly mistake him for his childhood friend, Ron Weasley?
What, does Harry Potter have all his spells and shit?
I mean, yeah, they're all up there, aren't they? In his brain. Yeah. Although, He's not that good a wizard, because normally he relies on Hermione and just luck.
I haven't watched any Harry Potters.
I did watch them like when they first came out, and I read the books with that. I haven't seen them since, but it mostly involves him kind of being lucky and having people around him who are better. So I think in a fair fight...
But Prince Harry's like that as well, isn't he? With like bodyguards and Prince Philip.
Yeah, but at least Prince... I mean, Jason, we'll get to Prince Philip. But at least Prince Harry is like served in the army.
Oh, that's a shout.
So I think Potter goes to cast a spell on him. He misses because he's incompetent. Prince Harry closes the distance, gets close to him, and frankly...
cock slaps him.
As soon as you're close to a wizard and take away their wand, what are they going to do? They're pathetic. They don't lift. They're not trained killers. They're just pathetic. So I think Prince Harry breaks Harry Potter's neck.
Joe, who I think wins?
Who?
Harry.
There we go. That's good. Final one, and this one I think is a good one. Right, I was quite happy with that. Prince Philip versus Phil Mitchell from EastEnders.
Oh. Is Philip driving?
Is Phil Mitchell on crack?
Yeah, which Phil is it? Is it drunk Phil, or...
Let's just clarify for our non-UK listeners. Phil Mitchell is a character in a soap opera who is known to be like a hard man. Most of the time he's on drugs and or drunk.
Most of the time. It's whenever they run out of storylines on a 6-year cycle.
Then they put him on drugs.
Which is coming up to that stage.
So soon he'll be hitting the meth.
Yeah, maybe.
So Prince Philip versus hard man Phil Mitchell.
Well, it depends, because Prince Philip is a zombie.
Therefore he cannot die.
He's already dead. How can you kill the dead?
You cannot kill what is already dead.
Yeah.
Is what he would say to him he chokes the life out of him.
And then Phil Mitchell is a fictional character. So...
This is the easiest one of them all. It's definitely Prince Philip.
Yeah, it's got to be Prince Philip, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And on that note, we're going to end the show, Jason. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Jason, for turning up.
15 minutes late.
And the rest. Yes, thank you, everyone, for listening. Hopefully, we are on the way out of this unprecedented pandemic. But until then, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, listen to the Sweet Connection.
Eat, sleep, and shag less.
Sure. If that's our message, then... That's our message, so I'm not going to say anything more than that. But thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Jason, where can you get more Sweet Connection in your life?
Well, Ben, we are on Facebook at Sweet Connection Podcast, and we're also on Twitter at SweetC_podcast. So you can give us a like or a follow.
And you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean. So if you enjoyed the show, you can give us a rating or a review or recommend to a friend.
And if you wanted to email in a topic or a question or just say hi, it's thesweetconnection@outlook.com.
Massive thanks to CIPP and Carlyle Laurent for all of our jingles. Thank you for listening, and catch you next time.